Guys, your boy Ruff is here today, and we're gonna be training some back. We got my man Chase here with us to help me push through. We also, that's one thing you're trying to work on, right, back?
Yeah, back is a weak part for me.
So we're gonna go through some things and talk a little bit more about that as we go. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name.
Miyasato.
Miyasato, yeah, he's was not expecting that. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do some pull down, some rolls, and yeah, not a whole lot today, but it's gonna be very, very effective, and yeah. So without further ado, let's get it started. Yeah, it's nice.
I've never gotten a massage before.
It's amazing.
Yeah?
It's great. Yeah, with us, man, you gotta get the right person though, cause they gotta be strong.
Right.
You know, so like, I can't work with a lot of people, I guess. I mean, if I really want something done, if I just want something to feel nice, then it doesn't really matter. But to get like deep tissue stuff, I need like someone with some power.
Yeah.
Let's start with some rolls.
You know what movements you're doing today, everything?
Yeah, I do. So basically, we're gonna do some neutral grip rolls. That's really great for your lats. Anything where your arm is kind of like in this path is great for lats. So like this, and when you see us when we go to pull down, so we're probably gonna do like a one arm pull down, same thing. If your lats are pretty good, then you can still do like that type of thing with both arms, like I just a neutral grip pull. I see a lot of times, and it's very clear, clear thing that I see. A lot of guys who don't have the best lats, they tend to do exercises that don't really target the lats efficiently. So like when they're doing a pull down, they're kind of leaning back and they're going like this. But basically your upper arm path is going to determine what you're working the most. So the more you have it like down here, the more your lats are going to work. The more you have it here, the more your upper back's going to work, And everything in between is kind of a crapshoot. But that's one of the biggest things I'll tell anybody. Just make sure when you're doing any type of pull, make sure you keep that arm close to the body. It's a row, but it's a pull down. That's kind of the way you want to go about it. And everyone who talks about those lower lats, that's kind of how you target those too, I would say. Your lats is one big muscle, but you do feel a little bit more, when you do it that way. So yeah, we're gonna start with some neutral grip. Then we're gonna go to a pull down. From the pull down, we're gonna go back to this machine, and we're gonna focus more on upper back. So we're gonna have like a wider grip. We're gonna be pulling a little bit more like this. For our upper back, get that to grow a little bit more, and then we're gonna finish with a pretty cool tricep or maybe superset, depending on how he's feeling. With pullovers, and a couple other exercises we're gonna do that's pretty cool that I found that I really like. So, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 exercises today for that. Again, we're gonna do a little bit more with shoulders because that's something else he's been trying to work on. And we're gonna finish with the same thing with calves again. So that is today's workout overview.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know a lot about back. I got a lot of good tips for you guys today. Yeah.
Good.
So cool thing you'll notice a lot of times people who feel a lot in their biceps, their arm is too far up. So like if actually bring your arm further up, like high,
up here.
really high. Yeah, high, okay, cool. And now row, you'll see he's bending his arm a lot more there. So you're actually working a little bit more bicep that way. So bring it down, back down. Now row. You see here, there's not as much bend, so your bicep can't do as much if you're here compared to like there. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a cool thing to think about. Where your hand placement is. All right. Cool. Okay. Let's add some weight for the weight I would need. So you'll see that a lot, man. You get both sides of it, especially like especially when I started to see that bodybuilding, there's like two separate like groups of bodybuilders.
You're just talking about that too.
Yeah. I literally just was talking about, so like, they're both of these people are like very emotionally attached to whatever they believe for whatever reason. But like the best people thrive off taking concepts from both and seeing what works best. Yeah. Stuff's always good.
Feel it out.
Just let me know if you want to keep going. That's good, man.
I just got
Two more. Keep going. Keep it strong. Slow. Go. One more. More back tips. So basically, another thing you want to do when you're doing like a row is kind of push that shoulder down, keep that scapula locked down. When you roll, you don't want that all moving around because your lat, fully contracted, it needs to be down like this. So if you're rowing and your shoulder comes up, you're not really taking full advantage of your lat, and you're doing a lot more upper back there. Make sure you keep that down, locked into place, and drop right down there. So Chase is doing a good job with that, so I don't really have to critique him much on this training, but that's something to pay attention to. And people always ask me, man, like I get this all the time, I give them the same answer. They always like, yo, Ruff, like should I do heavyweight with bad form or lightweight with good form? I was like, yo, like, dude, it's not black or white like that, man. Just lift heavyweight with good form. And I would say a couple guys that are really killing it that way, like Akeem Williams, Michaela Aycock, all those people are like very, very strong and like lift like robots. Like it's very, very. Even if you see Kai squat every now, I know everyone watches Kai. You ever see Kai squat with like 3, 4, even 5 plates? It's very, very smooth. He takes his time. It's not all wobbly and anything like that. And that's another thing I'll say is people, they talk about, heavy weight causes injury, and that's not really the case. The case is a lot of times people lift heavy weight and they lose their form. They lose that, and once you lose that, then yes, it's gonna cause injury. So as long as form is the top thing you're thinking about, then you won't get injured. I lift heavy for myself all the time. I've been less injured now than I was lifting a lot lighter back in my early 20s. So yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That does make sense. That's a good idea.
not fun.
I'm gonna see if I get 5 or 6 and then some force thrust with you. Whew. Oh.
You know when you change your feet placement mid-set, you know that's getting hard.
Yeah, I'm so light, dude. Like, I'm always scared like I'm gonna flip over or something. So, oh my goodness. Two drops instead of
2 drops?
yeah.
Okay.
Take it off.
125? There you go, there you go.
Let's do some pull downs. You good?
Yeah,
What?
that pump is still in my back.
Okay, I was like, yo, I. Alright. You don't have to keep yourself balanced when you do this.
Okay.
Yeah, you get the back.
You come on, stay neutral. Don't bring it all the way, so keep it. So you can turn it still, but just
Okay.
don't, yeah. Should feel a better stretch that way. Alright, let's Yep, that's it. How heavy was that last set for you?
It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't even grab going for here, huh?
Same stuff for this one. Yeah, I just do another. So when you're doing these right here, I know a lot of people have questions about whether you want to lean back a little bit or be upright. I think it's a little bit better to be leaning back, just because of the path of the machine and everything and what you're doing. You want to kind of bring it down like this, and if the weight's directly on top of you, it's very hard to keep. I can't even keep my arm in. You're gonna be pulling more like this. So when I lean back a little bit, you can literally bring it in a little bit better for me, which is gonna target your lats a lot more. Having more out here is, you're still feeling your lats, but not to the same degree. See if you can lean back a little. I don't know if you can. Maybe lean back a little bit more.
Lean back more?
Yeah, maybe or maybe have a little bit less of your thigh on this.
Okay.
Good. Here we go. Swerve. You got it. I got you. Good. You got more. Let's go. Let's do the real work. One more. Focus. Good. Good. So one of the biggest things when you're lifting, man, is your setup. So like definitely that plays a big deal. And that's the biggest deal, how you set up your exercise. Secondly is definitely obviously execution setup, I would say equally important. Definitely. Exercise selection plays a big role. All that stuff plays a huge role in how your training goes. So, oh man. So the reason I told him to sit back a little bit more, because I've seen this when he was pulling, his arm was bending a lot as he was coming down, just because of the angle he was in. So when I told him, like Master Bar said, and I told him to take a step back, it's a lot harder to do that when you're going down, as opposed to being really close, really building that brings in a lot more bicep for a lot of people. So yeah.
That stretch is awesome there too. Just leaning back a little bit more.
Yeah.
That lat gets so much more stretched for me.
So that's the thing people get confused with too is, I think learning a bit of anatomy is great, because then you know like how muscles are shaped and where they pull, where they insert. This right here, like overhead, isn't really a good position for your lat. It's not fully stretched. Actually, when you kind of think of, so when I have a lot of people, I have them just kind of put the palms up and do like this, and then they can really feel where the lat's fully lengthened. It's about like right here. Anything higher is kind of taking it off. So that's why I tell people, if your highest point is here, that's why I tell people to lean back because that puts them in that position to get that fully lengthened instead of being here. So, yeah, having it like over your head, that works a lot more of your teres. You can Google that. Your teres muscle. You see a lot of people use teres majors because they work on that way more than they do their lat. Oh man, so I'm gonna do probably one more set here. I think one more would be good for you too for this one. And yeah, we'll move on back over to the other machine here.
You want a little more weight?
Nah, that's
No.
good. Yeah, just those 10s off would be my. Dude, you want to just take 5 or take 10?
This is more of a higher row, right?
Yeah, so yeah, more for upper back. Yeah, do the like a bit of a wider grip. I may need to. No, it should be fine. That's good. If I need to move this back no more, let me know. Like the pad does. The platform.
I think 2 here.
Okay.
That's good.
That doesn't really take, talking to a lot of
Yeah.
people. Unless you're constantly selling memberships, but I'll this will most likely be working for me.
Okay. Yeah, my neck's not a problem.
Yep. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yep. Come on. There you go. Work. There you go.
Oh, you need to trim.
I think you have to put your foot there. Let's see. Make sure you get a good stretch too in there. Those guys fully stretched. That's good. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna die. Ready?
That stretch at the end, is that help for any particular reason
Yeah,
or?
so like it's called a loaded stretch. Oh man. So there is a bit of research that supports that it grows muscle.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a ton, but there's some. So there's that. And then also I think it's just good to for like injury prevention. So let's, you know, like, especially when you're short on time, having a loaded stretch at the end, just stretching the muscle you work for the day is definitely a good practice. But yeah, there is some studies that it's been done on birds. The last time I heard, so that's why I was like, well, I don't, you know, it's not a lot of research on people.
Yeah.
But you know, I like to mix, you know, research with just a little bit of real world stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's funny, like stuff bodybuilders did back in the 70s are just being proven now.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think people who wait for science to like tell them what to do, that could be an issue
Mm-hmm.
because you may end up waiting 30 years to do something. so yeah, I like to you definitely have to take some of that stuff in stride, you know. And again, it only takes a minute at most to do it, so why not? It's not gonna like destroy your progress or your time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, hold that stretch, yeah. And you see the way he's like pushing into it, that definitely helps you get a little more out of it. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite triceps to thing in there. Yeah, all you need is about 20-30 seconds here, and you're good. Alright, and this is our back day today.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some cows. I mean, if they want to see that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty hot too. Like I'm feeling it. It's definitely cool. Hey. We are being kicked out. Well, not kicked out. We can't videotape. So that was pretty much the workout today. Hope you guys like it. We're still gonna be filming. We're still gonna have people here. Maybe not here, but at other gyms because everything's opening up soon. So look forward to that. And I'm gonna actually look into the policy here to see if they're right. And until next time, peace.
Yeah. Ay, coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LABB, who